Perfume was a celebrated luxury item long before Chanel No. 5, and it didn't always smell so sweet. Today, we're taking a look at the history of perfume. In ancient Egypt, people called perfume the sweat of the sun god, believing it to come from the perspiration of Ra himself. But since Ra's tennis headband isn't super appealing, they had another god dedicated to perfume, Nefertum. According to Simon Goodenough Egyptian mythology and several other texts on the subject, Nefertum was the god of the sunrise. He also pulled double duty as the god of the lotus blossom. That's disappointing. Even gods have to work two jobs. Lotus flowers are known for their pleasant scent and medicinal properties, and were a vital ingredient in Egyptian perfume, which led to Nefertum's association with fragrances. To create their scents, Egyptians used plants like henna, lotus, water lily, roses, and cinnamon. These were soaked in oil and sold to the wealthy. Poor people, meanwhile, just had to bake in their own funk. Speaking of wealth, between the 16th and 11th centuries BCE, Egypt was at its most prosperous, known as New Kingdom Egypt. It was the period during which King Tut lived. The Valley of the Kings became a landmark, and the Temple of Luxor was built at Thebes. The architecture of the time still humbles and inspires Las Vegas land developers to this day. The time period also ushered in some unique fashion choices involving perfumed hats. According to the History of Ancient Egyptian Literature Volume 1, people wore perfumed cones on their heads as they drank wine, and some wore perfume cones made from beeswax and oil scents. Artwork from the period depicts people sporting these cones, but the practice wasn't confirmed until 2019, when a team led by Monash University's Anna Stevens uncovered two bodies in Amarna buried with the cones on their heads. Bury me in my smell hat. Is it the type of final wish you can refuse? Throughout the ancient world, most perfumes were basically scented oils for the ancient Greeks and Romans. Olive oil was the most common base, and I guess they preferred to conduct their daily business, but there were other oils, such as almond, that were also used. After pressing olives, perfumers would add in different woods and plants to create fabulous fragrances. Pliny the Elder bitterly complained about these oils in his Natural History, calling them the most superfluous of all forms of luxury, and insisting they lost their scent the very hour they were used. This may be the earliest known instance of a one-star review. The Romans also loved perfumes and scented oils. Fragrances were used as part of love, ritual, beauty, and commerce. Pretty much the same things we use them for today. The oldest known perfume factory, located in Cyprus, manufactured scents for Roman temples. Ingredients like pomegranate rind, sweet marjoram, and cypress all made their way into fine Roman perfumes. But frankincense was likely the most popular at the height of the Roman Empire. Perfumers blazed through nearly 3,000 tons of frankincense every year. The Romans used frankincense in their baths during beauty rituals, and even dabbed a bit on the soles of their feet, and similar to ancient Egypt, people were buried with perfume made from the resin. Although to the best of our knowledge, no Romans got to wear fancy scented cones. Perfume was also popular in ancient China. The Chinese liked to burn incense, associating the practice with purity and honor. They also wore perfume pouches filled with herbs, flowers, and other pleasant-smelling things. Nowadays, if you wear a homemade Yankee candle necklace one time, you are no longer allowed to ride the bus, even if it's a controlled flame. Have we really progressed? The traditional Chinese perfume, which has many names including Xiangyang, Xiangbao, or Hai Bao, traces its origins back to the Thong and Jaichou and Shang dynasties. During the Tang dynasty, women began making the sachets with colorful silk and silver or gold beads. Throughout the Qing dynasty, emperors treated perfume as a luxury due to a long-held Manchu custom. Emperors and empresses carried pouches around. They'd use them to bring good luck and freshen the air around them, and would hand them out to those with whom they found favor. But perfume wasn't just a noble's pursuit in China. Throughout history, royalty types have had a common obsession with perfume, and ancient Persia was no different.